Hi, I'm Snugglebug, and today I'm going to be talking about World v World. World v World is a three-way open world large-scale PvP game mode. Each server is assigned one Borderlands and a corner of internal battlegrounds. There are capture objectives that increase points per tick. Points per tick is the main scoring system for the overall match. Winning or losing a match will determine your placement in the overall tiers as well as which Borderlands your server will get next week. Points are calculated every 5 minutes and matchup are reset weekly. You generate points in two ways: controlling objectives and killing players. Queues and weekly reset. Borderlands and EBG do, however, have a max number of people allowed on map, and numbers have never been officially confirmed, but is believed to be around 80 players per map. Sometimes a map can have a queue to enter and you'll have to wait to enter or move on to a different map while you wait. Being queued out of Borderland depends on your server's most active times. Matches reset on Friday night and is generally the busiest time for overall maps and servers. If you are greatly outnumbered by the other two servers, you will receive a buff called Outnumbered, which increases the number of pips earned, gives 50% bonus participation, 20% magic find, and 25 bonus world EXP. Objectives. There are a number of objectives to capture, and they all have their own use and differ in difficulty to capture. Sentries are flags on the map, mostly used for marking enemy players and are easily soloable. Doliacs carry supply and transfer it from camps to towers to keeps, and easily soloable. Camps generate supply and are more often difficult but generally soloable with practice. Towers require siege to open, hold supply, generate significant points, and control area. Towers can be soloed, but it takes a fair amount of skill and better take as a group. If there are any defenders, they will be nearly impossible to take as solo. Keeps are larger towers that can upgrade to have waypoints and generate even more points, control a larger area. Keeps will require a group and are easily heavily defended. The only castle in the game is in the center of EBG, the Stone Mist Castle. It's worth the most points in any structure and is one of the most hardest to capture. On each of the Borderlands, there are 5 monuments in the center of the map. If the team controls 3 of these monuments, for every minute they receive a team-wide buff that spans in all Borderlands. Supply is an important resource that is consumed for siege weapons and repairing walls. The amount of supply you can carry is at the top of the screen and starts at a baseline of 10 and can be increased via World v World talents and guild claims. Supply is consumed when you build siege, place traps, and repair walls. Rewards and progression. World Experience is a system in World v World that gives you World v World ranks and talents points for World v World. World v World talent points are used to make your own World v World skills better. Best ones I would recommend is the gliding, the war claw, guard defense, guard offense, and supply. Reward tracks work extremely similar to how they do in PvP, however they progress by participation points. You will earn reward track points for every 5 minutes, within the timer at the top of the screen. The most important reward track to start is the War Claw. The other important ones are Gift of Battle, Hero Weapons, Triumph of Armor reward track. Pips are the third reward system for World v World. Pips are earned via participation, but the number of pips earned is based on your World v World rank. You can also gain more pips if you're winning the matchup, or if you're commanding a squad. There are a number of tiers which require increasing number of pips for the tier, chest, and each tier. Last but not least, Skirmish Tickets are earned from pip chests and can be exchanged for a variety of rewards including the legendary backpiece parts, or exotic or ascended armor and weapons. Siege. There are 7 types of siege weapons placeable by players and 3 structural types that spawn on towers, keeps, and castles. They have different uses and are best in different scenarios. There are 3 different types of level of siege: base, superior, and guild. However, guild and superior are equal in stats but are created differently. Rams are used for gates and can quickly destroy a gate but require user to be close in range. Catapults are best used for walls, though they can also damage gates. They're mostly used for taking down walls to either up close or from a distance, and also has a player knockback where it hits. Trebuchets, the longest range siege, used primarily for long range for wall or gates destructions, as well as clearing siege at the top of the wall or draining supply from a group or a supply depot. Traps can also be used for knocking back players. Arrow cards. It's a primary anti-group defense siege, covers a large range of AoE area with the damage and can be used to repel attacks from towers, keeps, and castles. Siege Golem. A giant mech suits that are mobile siege that can use in golem rushes or for taking multiple structures. Ballista. Primary use for anti-siege, most used for taking out opposing siege, and can damage players as well. Shield Runner can provide reflect shields for siege, primarily used for protecting trebuchets and catapults for extended times, not commonly used for short duration attacks. 3 structural pieces of siege are oil, cannons, and mortars. Oil is used to cause significant damage for enemies attacking the gate, best used for clearing rams and players that are attacking the gate. Cannons severe both as anti-siege and anti-personal. They are at the corners of walls of keeps and castles. They're used for destroying siege and killing players. Mortars are primarily anti-siege but will damage and knock back players. Long range, used to counter catapults and trebuchets. Traps. There are 2 different types of traps that can be placed, and 2 that are thrown. You can only place 1 trap at a time, and they require supply to set down. The 2 different types of traps you can place are Supply Remover and Target Painter. The 2 you can throw are different types of Target Painter and Siege Disabler. Alright, so that pretty much sums up World v World in a general broad aspect. So, please let me know if I missed anything down in the comment sections. If not, yeah, bye!